right, guys, I sure hope you're ready for this week as earnings season is officially in full effect. We have 5 companies, 5 stocks to break down. You guys know the drill. We'll go over the estimates for EPS, for revenue. We'll break down the charts and talk about what I'm looking to do. And we're also going to go over the indexes, which, guys, had a very strong day on Friday. So we have a lot to cover today. Estimates from charts to what I'm looking to do. So run those likes up. Make sure to subscribe, which, by the way, guys, we just hit 40,000 subscribers. I appreciate all of your support as always. And if you want some free stocks, don't forget to get up to 15 free stocks from Moomoo. With at least a $100 deposit, you get 5 stocks, and fund your account with at least $1,000. You get the full 15 stocks. And for now, your uninvested cash will earn up to 8.1% APY, which, guys, that's the best deal right now on the market, at least to my knowledge. So check out that link down below, or again, go to stocksurfs.com/Moomoo. And with that being said, cheers. Let's dive right into the video. Actually, let me get a sip of this coffee here, guys. All right. So like I said, earnings season is officially in full effect. On Friday, we had, I think, Bank of America. Actually, no, they're this week. Excuse me, guys. We had Wells Fargo and JP Morgan on Friday, a couple of other companies last week as well. And you know, when banks are reporting, that's when earnings season is in full effect, or starting at least. And for this week, guys, we have 5 companies, at least that I'm going to break down. There's way more that are actually reporting earnings, but we got some big dogs, guys, some big players that are reporting this week. So we're coming off of a very strong Friday in the overall stock market. I'm sure you guys saw the S&P did pretty well on Friday, went up 0.6%. The Russell crushed it, up over 2%. Dow up around 1%. I think the NASDAQ went up almost 0.25%, so not the best day for the NASDAQ. But man, the entire stock market went crazy on Friday. The Dow hit an all-time high, same with the S&P, and the Russell's getting pretty close to the breakout zone, along with Triple Q, which, if I pull up Triple Q, which tracks the NASDAQ 100, this is right at 495 right now, which is the last spot that needs to break before we get to all-time highs. You guys see that? 505 is the all-time high from July. Boom. Really only one main resistance until we get out of there, and the Russell needs to break out of 2250 to 2300, which we're testing it right now. If that breaks, all-time highs could be right around the corner. And the Dow Jones, guys, like I said, just hit an all-time high. We're almost at 43,000 points, which is nuts, as the S&P 500 also hit an all-time high at 5822. And this one, my bold prediction is I think we're going to 6,000 points before the end of the year on the S&P 500. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So stock number 1 for this week is Netflix, ticker symbol NFLX, which you guys can see is breaking out to all-time highs right now, heading into earnings, which, by the way, earnings are on, let's see the date here, on the 17th after the bell, which I believe is on Thursday. After the bell, yeah, Monday's the 14th, Tuesday's the 15th, 16th is on Wednesday. So, yeah, Thursday's the 17th. After the bell, we're getting Netflix's numbers, and this stock recently just broke out to all-time highs. I think the previous all-time high from a couple years ago was like 690 to 700, so we recently cracked back over 700. The ascending triangle here is playing out. You guys can see that clearly. So we did have a bit of a red day on Friday, 1% red day. So it seems like we are selling off a little bit after the breakout above 700, but still, guys, we're above the moving averages on the 4-hour chart, and quite frankly, I could easily see this bounce right back off 710, 715, which is a big support level right now on Netflix. So they're on, again, Thursday after the bell, and their EPS estimate is $5.11 versus the $3.73 from last year. Pretty good there. Very good year over year. And revenues projected at $9.76 billion versus $8.54 billion from last year, projected up 14.4% year over year. Not too bad, guys. Pretty good growth considering how big of a company Netflix is, how long it's been around, and their EPS is projected again at $5.11 versus the $3.73 from last year. Very good increase year over year there for Netflix, guys. So we're getting the breakout here overall. But again, we're seeing a mini little pullback within the breakout. So let's see if this gets bought up at some point this week, maybe heading into earnings, guys. And of course, we'll break down Netflix more as the numbers actually come out. So make sure to subscribe. And at stock number 2, we have Taiwan Semiconductor, ticker symbol TSM, which this stock I think is up like 80% year to date. It's crushing it. They're on, I think, Wednesday. Yeah, actually, no, Thursday in the morning, the 17th, same day as Netflix, but Netflix is after the bell. TSM's in the morning. So we're noticing this stock's breaking out right now to a multi-month high. You can see here we're at about $190. We hit that back in the middle of July. Then we sold off pretty drastically. We hit it in the end of September about 2 weeks ago. Then we sold off. Now we're testing it again. So is the third time the charm here on TSM, guys, as we're testing 190 again. Let's see, man. Let's see. If that point breaks 190 to 195, I'll set my alert at 195 for now. That could be the breakout spot on TSM. And from there, we could be going to another all-time high, which we hit all-time highs back in July. But I'm sensing, if earnings come in strong, guidance comes in strong, TSM could be seeing all-time highs sooner rather than later again. So EPS is projected at $1.80 versus the $1.29 from last year on revenue of $23.02 billion versus $17.07 billion from last year. So great growth, EPS and revenue-wise for Taiwan Semiconductor. I mean, guys, their revenue's projected to be up 35% year over year. So if they beat nicely on these two metrics, plus guidance is strong, I don't see how this can't break out of 193, 194, and go to another all-time high. I think it's very possible here in the short term. So that's TSM. United Airlines is another one, UAL, which is up a lot heading into earnings. This stock literally was $37 per share about 2 months ago, and now we're over $60, guys. Yeah, we're up 65% in the past 2 months. So I'm not loving the fact that it's pretty much priced to perfection heading into earnings. And by the way, their earnings are on Tuesday the 15th after the bell. So I'm not loving that the stock's up so much, but that doesn't necessarily mean it has to collapse, right? But it does mean if earnings disappoint, well, it might collapse. It might see a big, pullback here. So earnings per share is $3.13. That's the estimate for UAL versus $3.65 from last year. So EPS is shrinking year over year, and revenue is barely growing. $14.78 billion is the estimate versus $14.44 billion from last year, up a whopping 2.4% year over year, pretty much keeping up with inflation, right? So if you factor in inflation there, their revenue growth is pretty flat. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. But UAL has been breaking out, obviously up 65% in the past 2 months. And with that move that we've seen, we're actually pushing to a fresh high on the 3-year chart. And, well, we're starting to break back out on the monthly chart as well, as we're still $35 away from all-time highs. We're still far away from that, but we are looking like we are moving in the right direction, right? At least here on the max chart, the monthly chart, it does look pretty decent. So who knows, man? Maybe UAL surprises us, crushes earnings, and the stock goes even higher. But I'd be very cautious, to be honest, with this, considering, again, how much it's up from the last couple of months. So Johnson & Johnson is number 4, but before we actually look into that, guys, don't forget to sign up for the mailing list. It's free. I'm sending you guys my top 3 stocks every single Monday right to your inbox, again, for free, right to your email. No spam, no BS, and this is something that I started about 2 months ago, and it's been fun. I'm writing up an email. It's not a long read at all, about a 2 to 3 minute read, if that. And it kind of gives you insight into what I'm watching for the upcoming week. So if you guys are interested, again, it's free. Linked right down below in the description box. Feel free to sign up. Put your first name and your email. Now, stock number 4, again, Johnson & Johnson, which is in a very similar position to UAL in terms of their earnings. They're shrinking year over year. EPS projected at $2.20 versus $2.66 from last year. Not the best there. On revenue of $22.15 billion versus $21.03 billion, up around 5% year over year. So they are projected to grow revenue by about 5%, but EPS is shrinking. And this stock, I feel like, has been stuck in the mid hundreds for years, it feels like. I mean, I've been watching this stock for years now, obviously. And yeah, I mean, look, it was at 140 to 150 back in 2017-18. Now we're pushing 2025, guys. It's crazy. This stock hasn't really done much of anything. It's been stuck in this window right here. But who knows, man? It is starting to break back out as of the last couple of trading days. Earnings are on Tuesday, it looks like, in the morning. So maybe we can get some sort of break back into the mid-160s. That'd be ideal here for the Bulls. But until we get that confirmation, guys, I'm staying far away from J&J. But if it's able to break out of the mid-160s, which we've been struggling for months this entire year, if that breaks, maybe we take a shot back to 168, which was the high from about a month ago. Then if that were to break, we could be going even higher. So that's J&J. Bank of America is the last stock for the list, guys. And by the way, run those likes up. Make sure to subscribe. I know we just hit 40,000, but the goal is 50,000 as soon as possible, guys. So make sure to subscribe. I appreciate you all for tuning in. So Bank of America ran up 5% as JP Morgan and Wells Fargo, they reported earnings, and their stocks ended up going up like crazy on Friday. So BAC ran up in anticipation of its earnings, which are coming out, I think, on Tuesday. Let's see here. Tuesday morning, I believe, right? Yeah, Tuesday morning, we're getting Bank of America. So their stock's already moving, guys. It's already breaking out. So this kind of sets us up in a weird position, right? Is the gain already built in because the stock market is anticipating their earnings to be good? Does this mean there won't be more upside if their earnings are good? Do we get like a sell the news event if earnings are good? The stock's already up because JP Morgan and Wells Fargo reported. So does that mean Bank of America is going to sell off after earnings? I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see how it does on Monday. But like I said, it is breaking out like JPM and WFC. And it looks like EPS for them is projected at 77 cents versus 90 cents from last year on revenue of $25.29 billion. But overall, guys, the chart looks really good. There could definitely be more upside in this one. I mean, look, if we draw the channel out, it looks clearly to me that there's a lot more upside, at least within this channel. You guys see the wide open window right here. So maybe it chops around a bit before, post earnings, right? But ultimately, it does look like we're heading in the right direction. I mean, we called out the breakout here in JP Morgan here on YouTube and the email I sent last Monday as well. That's clearly playing out. Bank of America is starting to break out too, and there could be more juice left to squeeze, at least in my opinion. What do you guys think? But yeah, for now, that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to smash that like button and check out the Patreon. Shout out to everybody out there that's joined the Patreon. I have a private portfolio that I'm building on there. I'm putting in money every single week. We're buying stocks. Full transparency. You guys get to see what I'm doing in there. There's a Discord, and I'm also posting my charts and ideas throughout the week. And guys, you get more access to me on Patreon. Check it out. Link down below in the description box. I'll also put it in the comment section as well if you're interested. Again, shout out to all the new members that have been joining. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you guys in the next video.